everybody. Take 500. I promised you guys an interview with Max and Morgan. Here's Max.
Hi.
And Morgan. Martinez with BMO. And we're just taking a little break to do the interview. Some of you sent some questions, so you're gonna get the real deal because we have not practiced this at all. I put on a sweater for it. They didn't even change their clothes. I'm just kidding.
In the midst of homestead life.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, Max and Morgan have been in Ukraine almost 3 months now. Actually, they have to leave in a week, basically, to go to the country of Georgia, which is one of the only places nearby that's accepting U.S. citizens to get their visa.
Also, the state of Georgia is accepting U.S. citizens.
That's true. That's true. Vlad, we're making a video. Okay, so this is like they've been living in the duplex for how long? Couple months. Month and a half. With Anton and Les and Masha. And we're still waiting on Sasha.
Yep, unfortunately.
Forever we're waiting on Sasha. So yeah, we're just gonna ask about your experiences so far, guys. There's no wrong answers to these questions. Why did you choose to serve with Wide Awake?
I think we had like the prior experience of being here a few years ago with a team of people, and we really loved just the structural setup of wanting it to be a Ukrainian ran thing and not something that was like, oh, we're the Americans coming in with a savior complex and we're gonna change everything and be the ones that like colonize for Jesus.
Colonize Ivanivka for Jesus.
Exactly, yeah. And so I think that was like a really big draw. And then yeah, just knowing also like your vineyard people, kind of have like some of that same theological stuff, and I think it was really good.
Yeah, we visited a couple years ago, and I think for everybody who has visited, it's like the same story of you get to meet the boys and see where they're from, and it doesn't leave you, like it just sticks with you. Like we had gone off in life and started making plans and sort of the transitional, like just married young adult period, but we couldn't seem to stop talking about Ukraine and Jed and Kim and Boris and the boys, and like it just sticks and just nods at you, and it's so like significant and beautiful, even in the midst of like some of the really hard situations that are here. Like it is just draws you so much, how beautiful the work that's being done, and just amazing community here. And
Of course, Bima wants to get up as soon as we start making it. Yeah, he'll be fine. Don't worry. Okay. What was the reaction of your families when you shared your decision to come to Ukraine?
You start?
My family's pretty tight-knit, and definitely wanting us to be in some close proximity. So I think it was a little difficult at first, especially because like my parents work so hard for me, and I'm definitely taking the long way through college and everything. And this was an interesting way to get there. But overall, it's been really good, and my family's been really supportive. And
my family had a super positive response. They had like kind of expressed like that if they felt like there was no red flags, why wouldn't we? Committing a year in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. And yeah, so they were kind of like, if you don't do it, you might always regret that. And
doesn't get easier once you start having babies.
Yeah, so they were like, yeah, this is the time of life to do it.
Will any of your family members come visit us?
Both sets of parents have expressed an interest in coming and visiting, and both have tentative plans based off COVID regulations and restrictions, and so the hope is that they will.
Us, Max's mom cuts hair, so
yes,
we could all use a trim. Mom,
get over here.
Okay. What is your favorite thing about your new house, like the duplex?
Oh man, It's rad. It's really cool. It is really rad.
Probably your dishwasher, since we don't have one.
Pretty great.
I have to go. I don't know if you want to pan over, but the balcony is like my favorite thing in Ukraine. I love our balcony.
There it is.
Yes, it's so wonderful to come out and not have an agenda for a little bit. Just hang out on the balcony, overlook the village.
Yeah. And we can see them when we're all on our balconies. We can see each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy. Sounds creepy. Okay. What about you, Morgan?
I think the kitchen as a whole. It's just a beautiful kitchen. It's nice and spacious. Dishwasher. Yeah.
Stainless steel.
We don't have one, so you all know.
Yeah. Her name is Christiana.
Actually, we have 5 dishwashers named Vlad, Addie, Ezra, Hava, Seth, and a bonus Christiana for a while.
They're a little faulty sometimes.
Yeah, the quality isn't always top notch.
It changes based off the dishwasher.
Yeah. Boris does not clean dishes. He wants credit right now, but he doesn't wash any dishes. Okay. Has Vlad made you anything in his wood shop?
No. Which
It's a sore spot.
It's a sore spot because Vlad and I, like if you were out here, Vlad and I are kind of like this, so I'm waiting. I hope it'll blow me away.
Maybe
Waiting
it's a surprise.
Yeah, maybe it's a surprise.
Vlad loves to make things for Vlad.
Yeah.
In the wood shop.
There's a singular focus when he's there.
How's the language acquisition going? Not to hit a sore spot.
Chidovo.
No, I'm kidding.
It's been, I love language, and I was like working on some other language stuff before coming out here, and I just love like learning a language in the place where it's spoken. It's been a really cool experience. One of the things that is weird is we learn so much of, not like orders, but we learn how to tell the boys how to do stuff so much, and so that's like our basis of language is like this knowledge of telling Anton, do this, and then we do this, and then let's do this. And so sometimes when we're talking to just other adults, it's like
we go into town.
I can tell you how to wash your hands and go to bed, and you already ate lunch. And
this is my lunch. You already ate.
It's interesting to branch out from the vocabulary of
Pull
telling
up your
people,
pants in the bathroom, not in the hallway.
Shut the door.
Grab the toothbrush and then turn the water on. Yeah. It's interesting.
It is like it is interesting though, because like if you just did like a language course, it's all about like travel and like business meetings. But it's not like
clean your butt. There's no Duolingo course on cleaning your butt, which there should be. Maybe we should make that app.
But one thing though I was gonna say about those things is that you miss a lot of like very everyday vocabulary about like your body and the house and bodily functions.
I feel like I always do really well as long as I stay in there with Anton. And as soon as I venture into the rest of the world, nothing.
Yeah. And once they get back from their visa trip, then we're going to start lessons with a tutor. So.
The other thing is, Ukrainians are amazing and lovely, and they start having super long conversations after, like, you get to the acquaintance level. But at, like, the on the street, like, hospitality level, there's no room for learning. Like, it's like you attempt once and then the yelling starts right away. So that's one more difficulty, but it's been good.
What's your favorite Ukrainian food so far? Not Georgian food.
Dang.
Ukrainian food. Max
No,
likes
there's a
the
lot
Georgian
of good Ukrainian food. Oh, man. That's hard.
Whatever the salad Toma makes with the mushrooms that your kids are crazy about. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Mommy goes in the house.
Uh-oh, Bunny's on the list.
Salami borscht.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Green
Borscht.
borscht is really good. Yeah.
Mama,
I don't know. I do love vareniki, which is like these amazing little dumplings. I have to say, it's hard because I'm trying to narrow it down, but it's all the same ingredients made into different. It's all different shapes of potatoes with
we
something
only had
on them.
winter so far.
Yeah.
That's true. Dishes.
That's
There's
true.
been, there's like, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. The soups are amazing. Like, I feel like in America, if you say soup's my favorite food, that's like so lame. But the soups here are on the level of favorite food status.
They are yummy.
So I might go with soups. Congrats.
Good job.
Good job, Evie. They don't teach you that on Duolingo, and you need to know.
Okay. What this is kind of hard maybe to answer, but I think it's important. What has been the easiest part of your transition to life here? And it could be life in Ukraine or just life with the boys, or easiest and most difficult parts of the transition. Because like there's a lot of great, awesome things about being here, but it's difficult, especially to leave everything that's like everything you've ever known. So.
I think personally, the easiest thing for me is like the pace of life is awesome, and then just being surrounded by people who are amazing is awesome. Like, it's just the easy part of everything for me is like, okay, my job today is to like be present with the boys and hang out and work on the duplex, and like it's just amazing. Like, the pace of life is so sweet, and then I love just being in proximity of so much like cuteness and life with all the boys and Evie and animals and like friends all the time is just like amazing for me. I think that's like the best, easiest part of the transition. I would say difficulty, I think sort of like the loss of agency and not being able to move around freely as much. Like, oh, I can't just hop in my car and drive into the mountains or something and go like be my own person a little bit, because that, I guess that's like the flip side of being part of the beating heart here, is like you're not really as much like on your own, and not that that's like the worst thing ever, but it is a difficult transition, I think, to like lose some of your independence, not in the sense that you can't function, but independence in the sense of your life becomes very dependent on the people who need you here. And
I think for me, adding to that, one of the big difficulties is finding that introvert time that I need, because the team is very involved in each other's life, and there's always people here, and so that can be a big difficulty at times too.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's a different way of life for sure.
A lot of adjustment from average American life, I'd say.
Yeah. How has your new life changed your understanding of your faith or changed your relationship with Christ?
Even though things can be so much more complicated, and you can like bring in all the questionings of like, oh, why like this horrible suffering, or like, oh, why are things this way, or just all the like complex, hard questions, especially stuff just sorting out like before coming here. And it kind of brings it back to that simplicity of like, the whole point of all of this is it's way less about heady figuring things out, which isn't wrong, and I think that's great, and I think like there's still space for that in my everyday. Like, I'm still studying and learning, but the meat of everything is I'm loving the people who are right in front of me, and it's way less important to have everything figured out rather than to be present with where I'm at and where I am just as like a human being, and that I get to be loved and loved like in this place.
Yeah.
So it's a good place to not have everything figured out, which I think is amazing.
that wraps it up.
That wraps up episode 1 of the Homestead Podcast.
Yeah.
If you'd like to support us on Patreon, there's a link in our show notes.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope this helps you to feel you know Max and Morgan a little better. If this is inspiring you to join us,
Yes.
Get out here.
get on out here. We need lots of people. That's a big old duplex with lots of empty bedrooms.
And Boris is really cute. Even more so in person.
Yeah.